Welcome back to the Automax channel. Welcome back to another on-the-road episode. We've come today to somewhere quite special where I can open up my geekiness, if you like. This is Autosportif Engineering, and we are stood outside what used to be March Formula One workshops. So that is an original door. This would have been their reception. Now Autosportif own it, and they've got loads of Subarus, and we brought them a present. Let's go and have a look. Right, we're very lucky. You've seen outside where we are. It's the ex-March Formula One team factory, now home to Autosportif, who are specialists in Subaru WRC cars, Group A, Group N, everything Prodrive really, isn't it?
Everything.
This is Howard Dent. This is your business, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
I've been here since 1996. We moved in here when Martin Sparrow owned the company from 94 until I bought it from him in 2014.
2014.
10 years.
Yeah. Okay. But you worked there. You worked together.
So yeah, from 96 I worked for Autosportif.
And what was your background before that?
Worked for Terry Hoyle and building Ferrari engines before that.
So the Prodrive thing, where's that come from?
Only because coming to work for Autosportif originally, and Martin was at Prodrive, so we had a Subaru theme.
Yeah.
And then as the years went on and Prodrive did less of the older cars, we did more. By the time I took over, we were doing less cars. We're not being rallied quite as much.
Yeah.
When COVID came along, there's a great big shift round to going from there are no rallies, nobody's using the cars anymore. You know, I reckon my car might be famous, and we've seen the ridiculous.
Well, that's the massive thing now, isn't it? So, I'm sure you're going to be a very busy man from now on.
Well,
because everybody's gone, oh, so-and-so used my car once.
Yeah.
Even to that scale.
Yeah.
I mean, something like that, which we'll get after.
Well, I was going to say, famous. But it's a really good example, and a really good example of how things went. That car was a hire car in Ireland, right-hand drive, tarmac spec, white. You know, it was
special
just
to look at.
Nothing special. It was just.
So that we're talking about this one here.
Yep. R7WRC.
R7 WRC is so it's an ex-McCrae.
It is.
Anyone else?
Yes, I mean, it was a Russian guy, Ouspensky, used it for a few rallies in 97, 98, and then it went to Ireland. It had a history in between times of, it was just one of those cars. Wealthy businessmen like to have the latest car, so it was used by those sort of guys.
Yeah.
Ended up in Ireland with Kenny McKinstry. I think Jim Harrison drove it a bit. It was in the gold Triton colour. Yeah. And ended up it was just a white two-door car.
It's a very tired one.
A very tired one. And the guy who bought it, he rang and basically said he'd seen we'd restored another McCrae car, R19 WRC. He said, I'm interested in that. And we had a little bit of a chat about it. I don't know whether I want to spend that much money, blah, 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 whatever. Anyway, cut a very long story short, ended up going to look at the car to just sort of back up he'd been told it was a McCrae car, but we knew it was supposed to be a safari car, so we're like, but there'll be some clues, because if these cars are all refurbished and the bits get moved around, it's like a big melting pot of what we're going to sell. Yeah. We want to sell a car, tarmac car, well, what have we got? What can we make to make this customer have what he wants? So the chances of it being the original shell is fairly slim. But I said, but there's a load of things on it that will give it away.
Is the one that the chassis numbers were welded into the chassis link?
It has a shell number on it, and it's chassis number 20 or 2. Without looking, I can't remember. I think it's 20. So the shell number you'd expect to be somewhere in that. Yeah. It wouldn't necessarily be the same, and it is almost. It's not the same, but it's almost the same. Yeah. But the giveaway is there's extra strengthening in the rear wheel arches and the rear chassis rails.
Right.
It has bull bar mounts on the front inner wings. So that was the last thing that you could see where the jack mount had been on the tunnel. Yeah. There were just little things about it. So I'm pretty sure this is, but the giveaway is pulling the wheel arch liner down, and there are the bull bar mounts on the front inner wings.
All right.
So I said,
not many people would have known to look at it.
Well, there would be some, but for sure. And some of these things would have been repaired, and that'll be lost.
Yeah. Getting a hold of a snorkel then, because I assume it would have lost its snorkel.
It had no safari parts on it whatsoever. Yeah. Nothing. We were, again, very lucky, because at the time, nobody else, Prodrive had got a safari car. Yeah. But they're the only people. Yeah. They're the only ones had T14. We just had this one to do. Luckily, one of our customers had the front bull bar from a 98 car.
Okay.
We had that front section in the stores. It's just been left in the stores. It was a checkout at some point. Yeah. We had that bit. We had a pair of mirrors. We had the snorkel, and we had the bit on the other bit for the bonnet.
Yeah.
It turned out that we'd scrapped a car, or not scrapped a car, but we repurposed a car that had a Safari bonnet on it,
right?
Which was damaged.
Yeah.
We kept it in the stores.
Okay.
So that's an original Safari bonnet. 4 windscreen. I know it's only holes, but 4 windscreen washer jets.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I didn't know that. Yeah.
Where the snorkel comes through the bonnet, there is an extra piece inside the bonnet. I think obviously the jack mounts, we found some of the original jack mounts for the jack that goes down the tunnel.
Yeah.
We found the original Safari fuel tank and cover.
Yeah.
So it has got pretty much all the right bits on it. I wouldn't say, you couldn't say it was 100%, because there's bound to be something we'd put on.
Yeah.
Essentially,
pretty good.
Essentially, it's how it was. And if you saw the difference between when it arrived, it was rotten. It just was horrible.
So what year was this?
That's a 98 car.
98. So it's 97 they started.
Yeah, 97, and they won. So P8,
yeah,
car that subsequently Prodrive restored. That was the Safari Rally winner.
Yeah.
From McCrae car. But for 97, but 98 cars, R7 and R8 both failed. Engines failed on both cars. So you see it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Where they drain the oil and it goes through the plastic train.
Yeah. So they were non-active. The last one was the active car, wasn't it?
So it's got fully active gearbox.
It has, is it? Yeah.
Fully active gearbox. It's standard, essentially standard 97, 98 spec.
Yeah.
But the slightly different dampers. Longer damper,
yeah,
different ride height, different bottom arms, different steering arms. No, it's still on Bill Stein.
Still on Bill Stein.
Yeah. So there are little things about it, and but there's in the parts book there is a parts book that covers the Safari bit, so you can go and have a look. The windscreen washer bottle is different and different bracket, which we've managed to find and whatever. So that is now pretty accurate.
Yeah,
but that's the way. That is exactly the way it went.
Yeah,
and we've done.
And now
several cars
people are going, I think my car might have something. Even if it's got the slightest of history, like somebody tested it back in so-and-so, people want that. All that history is really important.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's where, I'm the same. One of my cars is driven by someone that is famous in a way because he did a lot for Prodrive, Freddie Dorr.
Yes.
And this was his recce car.
Yep.
We've got, even on the cage, we've got scrutineering stickers to say it was car 33 on the 1996 RAC.
Okay.
So if you go to the scrutiny and go to the entry list, car 33 was Freddie Dorr in the Group A car, which was L200 FDD.
Yep.
And I've got L100 FDD. So he had 2 cars.
Yes.
And I mean, that's just a little bit of history. That's a small scale. This is the bigger scale of that, basically. Isn't it?
Just on a different level.
Yeah. But not many people cared about that. At one point, it's only
it weren't. Yeah, it was just a car, just a car. And part of the almost the worst part of it is that you get sucked into the I've got that, so it should be this chassis number, this engine number. Why is it the engine number doesn't know? No, come on, these were rally cars. Even the body shell was a part number.
Yeah.
So if you've got that's got a Safari shell, PA. Yeah. But actually, the identity is all around the logbook of the registration.
But that car you're not supposed to say this, but it's a long time ago now, but sometimes that car would have been prepped for Safari. I'm not saying in this circumstance, but that number plate might have been in Argentina a couple of weeks after. But the car would have still been in Africa.
If you can
or on a boat somewhere.
If you can bother to look, it was in Russia, I think literally the weekend after.
Was it? Yeah.
Wasn't it?
No, exactly. So that was just, that is, rally cars have grey history sometimes.
They certainly do.
And it's really hard to...
And all the teams are the same. We can't, even South, we can't single out any particular team.
No.
We happen to be involved with cars that were built by Prodrive, and nobody's, saying that they did anything wrong.
Yeah.
It was just what happened. The stories of 2 cars turning up at events with the same number plates on, it wouldn't be.
Yeah, it happened to. We'll get too far into that.
No, but it's but that's the thing happens, and but we now have to not gloss over things, but we have to be realistic about
sometimes you have to draw a line, don't you, and say, well, So I noticed as well we've got a gaggle of Group A 4-door cars.
Yes.
This is popular now because these are historic legal.
So that's what's going on from the cars being important historically.
Yeah.
So we got people talking about, my car might have done blah, blah, blah. Now, the car, we knew it was coming, but the Group A Imprezas is homologated for FIA
Historics, yeah.
So all of a sudden, there's a lot more interest in those
competing again.
We'd already started in producing new parts for building continuation models for one of our customers, Best Distribution in Italy.
Yeah.
So
that's Best Impreza.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you deal with them quite a lot.
Huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we supply a lot of the
It's a
parts.
Howard's car more than anything.
No, because the team owner Carlo Baroli is a good friend,
Yeah.
and we started this project. It's his project, but we obviously involved years ago when he sat in the office and we said, so I want to build some Group A Imprezas. This is before nobody was thinking about historic rally.
Yeah.
I just want to build one. I've got one. He's got an original McCrae car and a 98 car.
Okay.
But I really want to build a replica. What would stop us building a replica? Gearbox, diff. There's a fabrication company.
I've said this a few times on the channel when we talked about Group A Imprezas. Like the diff and the gearbox on these are not your average Subaru, are they? They're completely unique for them.
So the Prodrive / Hewland developed fully active gearbox. I mean, it evolved from the legacy, which was just a 6-speed dog box with passive diffs front and centre and a passive diff in the back.
So there's no electronic centre diff on
the very first legacies. Did they have no? And then they came to having a hydraulic
full
the centre diff.
Then
Totally. I mean, a great gearbox, but fairly unsophisticated. But over the period of get to the Impreza, they got to the point where there was a electro-hydraulic control of the centre diff, which was working quite nicely in the legacy. So that's what the first Imprezas have, is just an electronic centre diff.
So that would have been just controlled, not like the DCCD.
No, it's a slightly
on the handbrake.
It's got handbrake release,
and
there is a valve block. Yeah, and it had some very, very simple inputs, throttle and brake.
Yeah,
but that was pretty much it. I mean, this was the beginning
of it. Yeah.
So that would be what is referred to as pretty much referred to as 94 spec, the centre active. 95 spec, they then went to have fully active.
Yeah.
But so for the historics, because it's in the homologation papers from 96, because it gets used in a World Rally car, there's a slightly later iteration of the hydraulics, which was what we chose to put on the Group A gearbox, because that was the best iteration. So when we got to think about the best one, we got to do that, because that's the best one. So that was how we did. So between us, Carlo has organised castings for the gearbox, we organised machining of the rear diff, and we build the gearbox system, diffs and the engine.
Is that all in-house or is that outsourced?
No, we don't do very much machining in-house, a little bit. Most of it is outsourced, machining parts.
But then you build, so here you're going to be building these cars? The best? Are these?
No, the best cars are assembled in Italy.
Yeah.
The shells are made in Italy, or the donor cars are sourced in Italy. The cars are stripped. The shells are built. The cages are supplied by custom cages, but they're welded accordingly in Italy. And then we supply big kits of bits that you make here. Some bits of some of the now the carbon and so on is done in Italy, but essentially a lot of it is done here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is Melvin's car.
Yep.
We know a little bit about this. Is this a replica or is this a?
So this originally was a Prodrive Group N car.
Okay.
And then the previous owner, Aidan Long, wanted us to make it into a Group A car because he'd collected a load of parts.
Yeah.
And we supplied a gearbox and a diff and custom cages, put a cage in and put the bobbins in that were necessary. So it became a Group A car. Yeah. And then Aidan didn't use it terribly much. Had a few problems with it, but nothing.
So this one's got a bit of Prodrive pedigree on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
And then we go into the back of the workshop.
Yeah.
And we've got
So we got an original 94 Group N Impreza.
Okay.
Prodrive Group N Impreza, which did Monte Carlo.
This isn't the one with no spoiler. Did it start off with no spoiler? Not that early.
It's an early car.
Right to have a look?
Yes, absolutely. It's not in
these are early.
Yeah.
Because these short, this is geeky, but these short bonnet pods are quite rare to get hold of, aren't they?
Yes.
Because normally they're all the way to about.
Well, the Group A car's definitely that way, but the Group N car historically had the
shorter one.
Pods.
Right, okay.
Yeah. But this
is very early. You can tell. This is what did you say? 93.
I think it's 94.
Oh yeah.
I'm not completely into the history of this one yet.
Chromadora wheels, they're quite rare as well, aren't they?
But the guy, I mean, I don't actually know that he finished, but I know that the story between the current owner and the original owner, who's no longer with us, the family have been able to supply some trophies and paperwork and all the rest of it, so that the history of the car is completely known.
It didn't have a reg GUT.
It has got a funny number plate.
Yeah. I think I've seen the story somewhere.
It's definitely been publicised.
Yeah.
But it's been waiting for its turn to come to the workshop to be put to as near as we can to the right spec. So it's had, obviously over the years, it's had upgrades, it's had extra bits put on it which are incorrect.
Right. Okay.
So we need to try and put it back to original.
To period spec.
Period spec, yeah.
So this is, was it built by Prodrive originally?
Yeah, it was, yes. 100% Prodrive. I don't think it's got the chassis plate on it, so I can't tell you what the chassis number was. But
no. So that's an early Group N car.
Yeah, definitely.
One of the first, possibly.
Well, there probably aren't many GC8 Group N cars left.
So I noticed the cage.
Yeah, so that's different.
My cage is like that. So
yeah.
Maybe that was a Group N thing.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, Group A has definitely got the double
one. Yeah, because I was thinking, oh, maybe mine isn't. Maybe someone else did the cage, but I'm looking at that now, and we've got one on ours. So,
and it has nothing going down to the rear diff, which the Group A car does.
Oh yeah, it's got the bracing on the back. Yeah, and then the next one on the line. This is Group A.
It is Group A.
Any history?
Oh yes. So it's a factory car. It's a Safari shell.
All right.
But this is again, the Prodrive part of the history is unclear.
Yeah.
But it was definitely a Prodrive car, as in definitely used by Prodrive on the factory team.
Yeah.
But then in 97 and 98 was driven by Simon Jean-Joseph.
Oh yeah.
And I think he was second or first in the French.
He was French champion, wasn't he?
I think he was, and I can't whether it was in 97 or not. One year, and maybe he was first, and the other year he was second, or the other way around.
Renault later on, didn't he?
He did, and he's still about that.
Is he?
Yeah, he was driving at Rally Legends in San Marino this year in his own Group A Impreza.
Okay.
And it was nice to meet him actually. Which we've done some bits and pieces on his car too, so it was quite nice. But this one has been, again, another Irish car, right-hand drive, tarmac spec, fairly well used, but again, same story. 10 years ago, not so much rallying anymore, car put away in the garage. I had to do a little bit of poking and prodding to encourage the owner to, you really should do this because it's a famous car, and it's the wrong colour. It's the wrong, you should put it back. Oh, I can't have it left-hand drive. No. You need to have it left-hand drive.
And that's how it was. Yeah.
It's 10 years not rallied. You're not going to rally it anymore. You might do some demonstrations with it, but it needs to be like it right.
Yeah.
So we've had some conversations with Simon about what he considered the most important rally that he did in it.
Okay.
So we picked the livery.
Firstly, Safari.
Well, it was a Safari shell.
Right. Okay.
So we know that the shell did the Safari, but which car it was,
So he might have had a deal because it was a tired shell back in the day.
I think probably the Safari shell is stiffer. So for tarmac,
right, okay,
may be a better thing. That's how I like to think about it.
Yeah.
There's a couple of other things about a Safari shell that would make it a little bit more appropriate. I won't go into that.
It'd be probably heavier though, wouldn't it?
It probably would be if it had still had the extra double skinning of the floor, but I don't think that's definitely not on it anymore.
Okay.
It would be a stiffer shell. It's got double chassis rails on the front, double chassis rails on the back.
Yeah. So what you said a livery? What livery is that going in?
So it's John Joseph changed his livery depending on rallies and sponsors and so on. He very often had, because he's from Martinique, Martinique on the car.
Yeah.
But I think he's chosen. It was a rally that he battled with Philip Bulgalski, and I think he might have
rallied Bar or something like that.
It might, yeah. I actually can't remember which one off the top of my head. I can't remember which one it was. But anyway, we think we've chosen which rally it's going to be. So it's having let's say a sympathetic restoration.
Yeah.
The shell needed a massive restoration because it had a hard life, but we're trying to retain as much originality as you can without, compromising.
Yeah. You want to keep. It's only original once, isn't it?
It is. It's difficult. And, the car was not original when this guy bought it.
Right.
It wasn't original when the previous guy bought it because it's a rally car. They get damaged, broken, and get swapped all the time.
Because the colour is another thing we were talking about.
Yes.
Colours.
It's a bit of a weird thing.
Because when they were Renault colour.
That's the Renault colour.
That's the Renault. Yeah.
Which is very close to the, let's call it the 555 colour.
Yeah.
When they went to the World Car, this was a special paint, special colour mixed for David Richards.
Right, okay.
And there were several colours tried, and he picked the one he liked, or actually one. But somebody told me he said, "Well, I like that one, but I want it to be more blue, more intense." So it was mixed by a company in Milton Keynes who are no longer with us. So the first couple of years were painted that colour.
Yeah.
But then they went over to a colour that's more like this one.
Right.
This is like the later.
Is that O2?
Howard? Well, it's A4C, I think.
O4C, okay.
But I'm, from what we can gather from talking to Simon Jean-Joseph and the people who worked at Silty Sport who ran the car for him, the car in 97/98 was pretty much the colour of a World Rally car.
All right, okay.
But we don't have...
And over the years, damage and things like that, I'm absolutely on, oh, this will do. And you lose it then, don't you?
Yeah.
What's this on the front here? Is that water cooler?
That's water-cooled brakes. That's the radiator for the water-cooled.
I thought it was brakes, but I wasn't 100%. For tarmac, that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So 6-pot water-cooled brakes on the front.
Yeah.
Same. They use the same.
You're going to link all that back up?
Yeah. Well, so again, typical for one of these Toyota cars, it was missing the radiator and missing the pump.
Yeah.
Because they get broken, knocked off. First thing that gets knocked off in a crash.
Is that? Yeah.
And the other thing that gets knocked off is the pump, because it's just under the wheel. So, so we're trying to put it back to how it would have been when Seymour had it.
Next one on the line?
No, it's another Group A car.
Yeah.
This one is not. It's a Prodrive shell.
Yeah.
But it's not it's a collection of Prodrive running gear. But it's not actually a Prodrive car. It has no Prodrive ID.
It's got no ID. Okay.
No.
So this is a very good replica.
Yeah, yes. I mean, it's a Prodrive shell, so it's originally built by them.
And this a customer car?
Customer's car, yeah. And I think, again, it'll be finished and probably be sold as a car that can be used. No reason why not. Yeah. You know, you're not destroying a piece of history.
No.
Because
that's better, really, isn't it?
Absolutely. And it's a kind of a bit like the group, the Melvin's car.
Yeah.
Is that it's a Group A car made from a Group N car. Yeah, it's got Prodrive. There's a Prodrive link to it.
Yeah.
But you're not going to be killing anything. You wouldn't really. I mean, some people would go and rally that.
Yeah.
Of course they would.
Yeah.
But you think, well, actually, that's maybe high days and holidays and demonstration.
But you get this in places like Goodwood with the race car people. They'll have a Ferrari, very rare early Ferrari that they'll race.
Yeah.
But that's not necessarily the actual race. They'll have a replica built, won't they? Sometimes
when the GTO is worth 30-40 million pounds. It's not much to have a replica made of that. And you could, like with the Impreza, so now that new build Impreza is cheaper than buying an original car. An original car with its history.
Yeah.
And again, this is right up my street, which driver is top of the league table for values.
Yeah.
Instead of it just being a factory car, then that separates out into, well, who drove it? And then did it finish? Did it win a rally? Was it on the podium? If it was this guy, it's not worth as much as this guy. Yeah. Well, see, Colin McCrae is top.
Colin McCrae seems to be top of the tree, doesn't he? Yeah. But then, better cars are going to...
Yes, so it goes for the later cars. Solberg cars would be important.
Do you do much with the later cars?
Yes, yeah. We've just done S12B. Engine and gearbox, because we run them on the dyno and we've got a gearbox test rig. So we still do them. There aren't many people that will do it.
No, that's it.
If we've got so much experience, which is great,
and it's handy to have a phone book with the right people to ring. That's true, because then you can ask a question, someone will go, yeah, everyone thinks it's that, but really it's this. That's handy.
Yeah,
because people on the internet will make their own.
Yeah, no,
things ever don't.
Never trust anything.
Never trust anything on the internet. Only
kids.
This YouTube channel.
Kids. Don't listen to the YouTube.
So can we go have a look in one of your other rooms? What we got next? What's that?
Well, that's a massively dirty fab shop.
So here we are in
Fab Shop City. So it's very messy, but we're making pump boxes for original fuel tanks.
Yeah.
Because we obviously with the new build cars, we need new tanks, which we use the original spec and made by the original company, but we have to make pump boxes. And we're modifying so that the original water transfer rail on the top of the engine was a special part.
The original one is just a water transfer thing, isn't it?
So this one is an original Group A Impreza water rail, and because they've got the big carbon air intake pipe, have the Subaru SVX radiator in.
Right, okay.
Which puts the top hose towards the middle of the car.
Is that just because they're thicker, or
no? Because I think it's one, it's maybe slightly larger, but carbon air intake pipe is right in the way of where the top hose would be.
Okay.
So the carbon air intake pipe comes in here.
Yeah.
And this would originally, it sits on the engine or more like that.
Yeah.
But the pipe comes out and comes across. And so the carbon air intake pipe was to be in the same place.
Okay.
So when they had the Legacy, Prodrive had these cast. This water rail is shallower and wider.
Yeah.
And it has a bolt-on water pipe on the front. That was Legacy spec.
Okay.
Because again, the Legacy had a fairly big air intake pipe and there's a power steering pump in the way. But when they got to Impreza with the carbon air intake, which is even bigger, and they decided they need to move the radiator so the top hose is over here, they needed to do something about the water rail. So they used the original Legacy Group A water rail, cut and welded the end up and put the top hose over here. So for our replicas, we have to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, we're not going to cast a new one. So we basically take a road car water rail and we have a jig and we make it the same. As you can see, it's just not quite as wide.
Not quite as wide.
No, but effectively,
it does the same.
It does exactly the same thing. Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't know. There are lots of things like that with these Group A cars. You look at one and someone will go, "Oh yeah, it's a Subaru. I could turn my Subaru into that." But there's so many things that are different.
We have it all the time with people.
Yeah.
That they. I'm building a replica. Really?
Yeah. It wouldn't be nothing like the real thing. No.
Yeah, but there's replica, isn't there, where I've put the stickers on it so it looks like one.
Yeah.
And then there's replica.
Yeah.
With the capital R.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So these are Premier did the fuel tanks.
Premier did the fuel tanks.
Yeah.
Still do the fuel tanks.
Yeah. So they'll do the bag tank, but you'll do the plate.
Yeah, we do. We build the pump boxes. All the parts that need to go in there. It's all. It's not say it's. It just we have to have the bits made. Yeah. Cut, folded, welded. So we do the welding in here.
So do you advertise this stuff, or is it just people just know?
Never advertised.
You don't need to. No. Because I was thinking, because I looked, and there's no, you haven't got a shop or anything like that. People just know to come. People who know
a crap website. Yeah. We've got a Facebook page. I never put anything on.
No. That's the thing. Well,
It's not being.
People have to watch. Yes, there will be a certain amount of people that will love this. There'll be a lot that will love this. If you need any Group A parts, Subaru parts, X-Works parts, this is where you need to come. We'll put the details at the bottom.
I'll settle up with you now.
Yeah.
It's literally, it's just stuff. It's just stuff. I mean, that's got a story to tell.
Well, I was just going to say, that's not supposed to have a whole...
No, it's not. That must have happened, it must be 20 years ago.
Really?
But it's a block and it's on a trolley. And so it got chucked in a cupboard somewhere, but then we needed a block because we needed to repair a gearbox. So we made the spigot that goes into the front of the gearbox where the clutch housing is. So we could fit the broken gearbox on the back of a block and use that as a jig.
Right.
And it's been used as a jig ever since. So now that's our mobile block jig. Which is stupid, but it's just how it is.
So I take it the piston come out of here?
I don't think the piston actually came out, but quite a few bits of conrod came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a proper blow up.
The piston couldn't come out of there.
No.
Yeah, rod.
No.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite bad.
A leg out of bed, as they say.
And again, another daft thing. That's the dead block and head and that exhaust that I use for making the Group A exhaust up pipe.
Okay.
Because again, people don't realise. So a proper original Group A car has a specific turbo, but to get the turbo air intake to fit the carbon air intake pipe, it has to be at the right angle, pointing the right way.
Yeah.
So from a standard position, the turbo has to be turned round a few degrees and tipped down a few degrees to get it exactly the right place moving forwards. So the up pipe, the bit between that exhaust manifold and the bracket, is modified, as is the bracket.
So the up pipe comes up behind, comes past the chassis,
between the cross member and the engine.
Cross member, and it comes up. And then normally you bolt the turbo right at the top, don't you?
Yeah. So if you were to sit and look at a proper Group A engine and a road car Group A engine, the turbo is, if that's your road car turbo and it's pointing slightly that way, because the road car has a 90-degree elbow going in. Well, they didn't use that on a Group A car. So to get the nose of the turbo and the restrictor to be under the inlet manifold, it has to be turned around very slightly and pointed down very slightly.
Because it'll come under.
So the bracket is cut and shut, and so we make the brackets. We made a jig for the brackets. We make the brackets, but we also have to modify the up pipes because they were modified as well.
Okay.
So it's all part, but all part of that tangled bits.
Suppose you have to pull one apart. You would never pull one apart originally and gone, Oh, this is different.
No, and if you were rebuilding an engine, even when I started, if I did an engine, my first little black book go back to probably 96, taking one of those engines apart, I hadn't got anything. And it's not a trumpet blowing exercise. I didn't have anything. So you measure everything. You check all the clearances, check the cam timing, write it down, check every detail, every part number of everything.
That's fine. Engineers.
Yeah, you have to
do an engineer from day one, or are you self-taught? Self-taught engineering.
Yeah, sorry. Kids,
that's the ghost collector.
but no, so you measure everything and check everything, and that's the only way you put something like that back together.
Yeah.
And so then, the next one is a little bit easier. And by the end of it, you could take one of those up, throw it, tip it all in a big box.
Yeah.
And I'd know where it went.
Yeah. I had an engine. When I bought my Group N car, the engine came in a box, literal shoe boxes.
Yeah.
And I put it together correctly, apparently, and we ran it, but there was oil going past the piston. And what I didn't do was check the bore.
Okay.
The bore had gone oval on one piston.
Yep.
And I took it to an engine builder in the end and said, I buggered up here, I think I might have put it together wrong. Strip it down, rebuild it, I'll just pay you to do it correctly. And he said, no, you put it all, eventually he pulled it all apart and said, no, you put it all together, right? But this bore's oval, you didn't measure that. And that's not what I'd have thought of doing.
Because all the right parts, not necessarily in the right order.
Yeah, yes.
No, there is so many, potential, loopholes that you could fall into. Potholes rather, not big holes, that you could fall into whilst doing such a thing.
So is this part of March as well?
Yeah.
Is there any remnants of March here?
There is, but out in the office. You have to.
We'll have a look at those in a minute.
Yes.
So which room we go to next? What's the back room?
You could look in the machine shop if you want to.
So some of this was left over from potentially March.
Exactly. So there's a machine shop that was next door. This in this building was the machine shop.
Yeah.
And in next door, the original machine shop foreman was operating his business next door, and we ended up buying the manual machines that he had left over. However, there are one or two additions that we've put in here as well, but some of it and the tooling, I'll find something in here. I will find something in here that's got March written on.
This is
almost undoubtedly.
This is a domain that I would love to be able to do. I did mechanical engineering in college.
Oh, well done.
For a year or two, but I wish I'd have done more. I'm making stuff. Do you like making stuff?
Yeah, I do. But to be fair, we can't turn out quantities of stuff.
Yeah.
If we need to modify something, we're more than capable.
Yeah.
If we need to make a bush, modify this, turn, machine a flywheel bolt, or repair threads and so on, we can do all of that.
You don't mass produce then.
We're not going to mass produce here. No. It's not like we can bore a block or grind a crank.
Yeah.
We can use the mill. We've got a manual lathe. We've got 2 surface grinders.
So within here is mainly for just repairing and doing little modifications, things like that.
Yeah. We're not huge.
Is this the gearbox room as well?
No. So it becomes an overspill.
Oh yeah,
maybe
some dog rings in there.
Yes, there's all sorts. Yes, gearboxes in bits, waiting for something.
So I should have in my car. I should have a Modena or a Hewland, really,
for Group N.
Because I've got a Quaife dog box in it.
So what year is it?
90. The car is an early one, 94, 95.
Yes. Okay. So originally it would have had the Prodrive Hewland 5-speed dog box, the S2 kit.
Yeah.
But that was so unsuccessful that they never made any more after like the first batch.
All right.
So finding bits for one of those would be really hard.
Yeah.
And you're right, Modena or Quaife would be the way forward.
So Quaife, could I still get bits for that Quaife?
I think they still do.
Yeah.
I think they still
do. Happy to know.
Yeah.
That needs to come apart.
But the other way, I mean, it depends how original you want to keep it. The other way to it would be to put the later 6MT gearbox in it, which is much stronger.
Yeah.
But if you want to stick with originality, like as a Group N car, we're going to go over there. Like it should be.
The gearbox kind of like the 6-speed I've got in another car is sections like that.
Yes. Like that.
Yeah. And then the early one is clamped together like that, and they stretched and
they wander about. Yeah, they're awful.
And then the gears.
But road car. Yeah, no, they're not.
You can get a clamp to put on them, can't you?
You can,
but I don't think that would be historically.
Possibly make. Well, no, it wouldn't be homologated. It probably wouldn't be the best thing. But
some more milling, grinding.
Yeah, so we do. I mean, we're valve refacing machine.
Oh yeah,
that We do a lot of shim grinding, so that's why that's an easy pathway.
Yeah.
And then bits and pieces, we've been looking at a Nissan 240 RS engine.
240 RS.
Dave William.
Oh, that one. Yeah. We're going to have a look at that later.
Yeah, it's very nice. The shell is gorgeous. Really nice. So we've been looking at engine bits for that, and there's a bit of overspill.
If you need any lamps, I've got tons of lamps
Okay.
at home. I've got tons of headlamps, tons of rear lamps.
Headlamps are handy.
I've got quite a lot of Subaru road car bits.
Okay.
So if there's anything that you stuck for, bumpers, I've got spoilers, even the low spoilers,
Okay.
some of those.
No, right. No, I'll be coming to visit.
I've got a collection of the nice stuff. Yeah.
And then most of mine's into Cadillacs. There's a load of Cadillac engines in the corner.
Oh, really?
I haven't got around to it. They've just been dumped in the corner. He's got an obsession with Cadillacs like I've got an obsession.
Yeah, let's have a quick look. I mean, is it just this one that's here?
There's only that one here.
Yeah. So this is a Morris Isis, and a very rare car. There's how many of these, do you think?
Left surviving, there's probably only 30 odd.
30. When this is a bit of an obsession of your
It's just mad.
He's the only man in the country who has an obsession.
I am world obsession. Yeah, absolutely. You're not seeing its best bit because it's obviously up in the air.
Yeah.
But I this was my introduction to the Model 40 years ago. I saw this car as it had just freshly been restored, arrived in my workshop yard, and I thought, I've never seen one of those before. I want one, and so I'm part way restoring it. So the top half is done. The bottom half isn't done. Yeah,
it looks pretty good underneath.
Well, I've done
Like all the similar.
yeah, it's because I've just done it.
All right. Oh, sorry.
So I put. I'm not a welder fabricator, but I like to do this sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I put a new bottom of the rear quarter, this part of the wheel arch, new sill, inner sill, jacking points. One of the guys here is a clever fabricator. He made the jacking point for it.
Okay.
It was looking a bit tired, so it's had 4 new doors.
So when you jack this, it'll just jack the whole side up. Does it?
It does, yeah. All the chrome has been I've been collecting new old stock bits for 40 years. So I decided this is probably going to be the last one that I do.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use everything.
Use everything you got.
So all new old stock bumpers and lights and so on to make it look as good as it can be.
Got so many more of these though.
I have got several more.
Yeah. It's not going to be the last one.
This might be the last one I restore.
Yeah.
The last we do before you return.
You'll be doing it next.
Yeah, but I'm going to give them all one each.
So we've got a 4 RX8 that we're going to do.
Yeah. No, we have.
Yeah.
So I have.
Yeah.
Better seat.
Oh yes.
Going in.
So
It's a Recaro 1993.
Yep.
So it could be legacy, but
It could be, and certainly the Group N legacies had seat like that, but it didn't have Prodrive on.
right.
So I think this is more
they have
like
Recaro written on, didn't they?
they have Recaro written on. So this is more likely to be Impreza than legacy. But we have an early Impreza of our own
Yeah.
that I'm trying to sort of collect all the right bits for. And
Is this a works car? Or?
yeah, it might be. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's a secret.
It's not a secret. No, we've
that here?
No, it's actually the shell is away being restored at the moment. It's at the you missed it. It was here this morning.
Oh, really?
Off in the to the fabricators this morning. But the so it was it's chassis number 18, and it was used by Colin in '94 San Remo.
What was the reg on it?
But then it was Colin.
It was
L555
BAT. So yeah.
that, yeah. And then it was re-prepared. He finished the rally 5th or something, I think.
Yeah.
Finished the rally, re-prepared, did Rally GB with Richard Burns
Okay.
as M555 STE,
Yeah.
and then updated to 95 spec for Piero Liassi to drive Monte Carlo 95.
Yeah.
It didn't win anything, but it did. So
Piero Liatti's wing.
yes, yeah, that's from a later. That's from M555 SRT, Balance, which we restored.
So then, how did you get hold of that car?
So it was offered as a in a box of bits, all sorts of stuff. I mean, this predates the upsurge in interest.
Yeah.
But we were looking for we were just trying to bolster the parts department. Collect up, hoover up as much stuff as we could. Yeah. And one of the places we found this particular car. It was the shell and a few bits in Italy. And so we decided, actually, that'd be a useful project. We could have that. Didn't know anything about it. Knew from the registration number,
Yeah.
which is its Oxford customer plate. It's K989 BFC.
BFC.
And
'Cause I had DFC.
so VFC is the Oxford.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So that's
I had KFC as well, which was Martin's. No, Martin's got KOV now. The estate
Oh yes, yes.
management car.
Yep.
So I had the sister car to that, which was KFC.
Okay. Yeah.
Which I only sold recently. Which I feel like I should have kept it and restored it now.
But you can always tell so the customer cars all, generally speaking, had an Oxford number plate. So whether it's WL, FC, I think UD, they're all Oxford plate.
And then later it was OU.
OU. Yeah. But so from that number plate that we knew it had when we bought it, that was Piero Liatti's ART run car that he won San Remo with in '95.
All right.
So it's right, great. Well, that's nice bit of history.
So we drive that
And collect it.
You take it to some of the
I think
gatherings? Yeah. That's what I'd like to do. Just because I've got a Renault 11 Turbo as well.
Okay.
Rally car.
Yep, nice.
And we blew the engine on the historic rally festival, but we'd like to do stuff. I like it better than competing now because I can geek out with other people.
Well, it's not like
they can drive them.
I have to say, I'd like to see the cars. We've just finished, restored and sold our Group A Legacy that we had.
Okay.
Which had taken kind of 8 years to get.
And did you do anything with Steve Ward's Legacy?
We supplied some bits.
Yeah. That's been on the channel. Right? We know Steve.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I know Steve.
Yeah.
We supply some bits, but yeah. So we finished our Legacy, but we had so now we've turned our attention to the Impreza. We've been collecting bits for it for 8 years.
Yeah.
So it's cool.
I like that. So this is the engine room.
Yes, it is.
This is where the magic happens, as they say.
And transmissions.
That's not
a Subaru. No, that is not a Subaru. So this is the A for assorted department. This is Metro 6R4 inch.
Oh.
When in my previous life at Terry Hoyle's, we used to do occasional 6R4 engines, and that came with me.
Okay, so you're the Metro man as well.
Well, no, I can't say that. We just over the years, we've done a few.
Okay,
and strangely enough, because it's this particular engine stand, the other one is a BDA. So we do occasionally do BDAs.
Okay,
but it's not a specialism. It's just we're muggers, I think.
Yeah,
we
just do anything.
But most of the rest of it would be Subaru stuff. So some of this is for the next new build gearbox. So as I was saying, we build these new gearboxes.
Yeah.
So these are some of the example of the new parts that are made.
Mad.
And that's so we originally everything was a casting.
Yeah.
The side plates for the gearbox, front side plates for the gearbox are machined from solid. So that is a CNC machined part, and then we have them e-coated to make it black. So they look originally. Well, they were originally magnesium, but to be honest, these days,
magnesium doesn't survive.
It doesn't survive well. All the old casings that are magnesium have had such a hard life.
Bolt the shaft onto
that it's not. These are easier to repair. They're more stable. It's just a better idea. They're a little bit heavier, but
because the end plates on a normal Subaru are probably just the size of that.
Yeah, they're tiny. Yeah. Because the diffs are quite big. So we got a pair of side plates, but these again, this is a casting. So that's part of the new, it's one of the new gearboxes we have.
Because this was the problem when everybody said, let's build new Group A cars. Everyone's like, well, you can't get these.
Yeah. So we with Carlo, we took it on ourselves to make a new gearbox. But it's done with the idea that every single bit that we put in the gearbox will fit an original and vice versa.
Yeah.
So if you had an original gearbox and you needed this casing, I could say, oh, there you go.
There you go. Yeah.
I know it'll fit.
Yeah.
All the studs are to the original drawings. They're in the original places. The dowels in the original places. The internals of it, the oil pickup tube, this baffle plate, they're all the same, exactly the same.
So are the people who made them originally?
No, so the original because the original castings, the people who made them, I can't actually remember. It wasn't Kent Aero Castings. They might have done the early ones. They certainly did some of the Metro stuff, but whoever the casting company was, there was one machine shop we used to do the organise the castings, do the machining. I think they still exist, but the casting company, the moulds don't exist anymore. So
they've probably been thrown.
No, I imagine they were, because what happened was when this style of casing was finished with in '99, so that was the last kind of production car. It's not really a production car, but the last Prodrive car that had one of these gearboxes in. was the customer car from 99.
Yeah.
Then this is then old hat. Old hat, we're not making it.
Yeah, get rid of it.
We're on to the next one.
Yeah, yeah.
And the next one they started using in 98.
Yeah.
So it was onto the paddle shift gearbox.
Yeah.
So all factory 99 cars were paddle shift with a different set of cases.
Because Roger's car is a paddle shift, isn't it?
And that's a 2000
Development car, isn't it?
no. So that car as a Prodrive car
Yeah.
would have been paddle shift.
Yeah.
Only as a customer car was it manual sequential.
Right.
So your customer was not allowed to have the paddle shift car. It required 1 or 2 engineers with a laptop all the time. They require constant attention. They are so...
He runs it, doesn't he?
He does, but you have to understand that we're not doing world championships.
No.
And we have our fair share of
So when he was
glitching.
rallying that car,
Yep.
he wouldn't have had the sequential in it, rallying it.
So when he bought the car from Prodrive, because that car is, it was basically a Prodrive car that was used by Juha Kankinen in, I think, Finland and either Australia and New Zealand or a couple of rallies. And then I think it was Andrew Nesbitt used it once, and then it went back to Prodrive and it became the Pirelli test car. So Piero Liatti drove it many, many times, and it was just a white car, but manual sequential.
Right.
Because it was a customer. It had been converted to customer SX spec. And then, so when Roger first had it, the first crop of rallies that he did, manual sequential.
Right.
And it was only later that we found an S10 gearbox, which is one of those gearboxes.
Yes.
And we reconverted it to put it back to.
Put it back out would have been, yeah.
So yeah, the gearbox history thing is a bit complicated, but because the S6 as a factory car, just like the 99 car, was paddle shift.
Yeah.
With the same gearbox that used and carried on being used all the way through pretty much to the end of S10.
Yeah, because the S12 and S as well.
S11 is a slightly different set of casings, slightly.
Yeah.
And then you have S12.
That was a completely different car, wasn't it? Yeah.
They're just different.
Yeah.
So there's an S12B engine there.
Oh, yeah.
Which you can, if we had a...
What did we ran an S10 ex-Mackinnon car once.
Yeah.
We ran N12Bs.
Yeah.
The Group N car.
Yeah. We don't do an awful lot of Group N, so we do a little bit, but not an awful lot. More transmission stuff than engine stuff, because the engine's effectively, again, not it's a road car engine. So it's not, there aren't any tricks. No, it's not really tricks, but some of the parts, it's stuff you could buy off the shelf.
Yeah.
Whereas if
that was the idea, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So Group A and WRC stuff, it's all different. And if you go from what is effectively an original Group A engine here,
so are you using, this is a closed deck or semi-closed deck?
Well, so this one, let's just look. This is an original, still got its original Prodrive block.
Right.
And you can tell that, apart from the fact it's got an engine number, which, let's face it, we can only have engine stamps. But actually, the important one is that one there.
Okay.
Now, I can't tell you exactly what that means because I didn't do it.
Yeah.
But the Japanese put those numbers on to show these block carbs going to each other.
Yeah.
And there will be, I'm guessing, 20. Could well be that it's a 2 litre, but I don't really know. And then the EO2 means something. I know that sounds really vague, but nobody's ever been able to explain to me why that's like that.
Okay.
But that would be what would denote that to me. Nobody else does that but Prodrive. Or beyond a Prodrive engine.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say 100% that's got its original block. Probably that's its original number. And the cylinder heads, look on here. See, that's numbered as well.
Yeah.
It's got Prodrive number on it, and that's 94. So this has got large port cylinder heads because it's 94. And the small port cylinder heads didn't come along until 95.
Okay.
But it's a 96 block. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's just interesting.
Yeah.
And then as an original engine, the crank would have a number stamped on it as well. And I've got to say, on a standard box, this part has got, it's laser etched with bore sizes on a standard block. Which
there's a webbing as well that you can, this webbing.
Yeah,
sometimes.
So it's this crisscross look, this stuff on here. Depending on where that is, can denote that it's a closed deck block.
Yeah.
And if you look at this side of it, you'll see what's different about it, apart from the fact it's got those 2 big studs in the middle, that it has a bronze insert in the top of the liner. So these will be aluminium liners. So the original cast iron liners are machined out. There's an aluminium liner is pushed in, which has then got a bronze ring insert put in the top of the block, which is machined for that gas ring. And this is a second-hand engine just having a bit of an inspection. It's obviously not brand new, but there is a block there with a new bronze ring in it. So you can actually see the bronze ring in the top of the block. This is, again, it's just had a new bronze ring put in it, so you can see it. It's much easier. And this little chap here, the gas ring is a hollow ring.
Yeah.
It has four tiny holes in it.
Okay.
On the inside of the ring itself, and that is as the cylinder head frets and it does move a little bit. If any gases get over the top of the bronze ring to get to the gas ring, that helps to keep the gas ring blown up, because obviously it's gas pressure. Yeah. But if anything leaks past the gas ring, it can't get into the waterways because there's a vent tube.
Right.
There is a little fitting goes on top of that with a plastic pipe.
Because they say with the flat four, one side always gets a bit more.
Well, it will do
because of the way it's.
It's not because it's sat, but there's a thrust side just like the rear, and when the cylinders are standing upright, it's only an inline four that's done that up.
Yeah.
It's not ridiculously common.
And you don't put these back on.
No,
Baker-like
kids, don't put those back.
Don't put those back on, and don't reuse them really.
Well, it's best not to.
I've had those on road cars crack.
Yeah,
and camber come off.
We've had them
because once if they're too tight, they've been on a long time. They will just crack when they just fall apart. So it's weird that they chose Bakelite.
But the Legacy, you see, it had steel ones.
All right,
heavy,
lightweight.
Yeah. So right. So there's a cylinder head. This is important. So going with the gas ring.
Yeah. Well, these are all cut out.
Yeah, exactly. So there is no head gasket. There's a gas ring, and then there's this O-ring. So the cylinder head is machined.
So this is Group A.
This is Group A. That's the other head of the engine.
You'd have to get these made.
We have these made.
Yeah.
So
this is, and you have to machine all this.
Yeah, it's CNC machine. There was originally a CNC program was written on one of those really, really old PCs with a TV screen monitor. I think it's about that deep. And it was actually done by the company that were next door to us. When I was saying about the machine shop next door, it was the machine shop next door that did the program for Prodrive to be able to put the groove in the cylinder head. Because originally, what happened was there were two things. One was the iron liner that's cast into the block in production leaves a small amount of aluminium above the liner. I was going to point to Exhibit A, but I can't because it's not there anymore. It was there. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah. But there is a small amount of aluminium bore above the top ring. The rings don't come anywhere near it, but because the iron is cast into the block, there's a small amount of aluminium. When these engines were being run on fancy fuels and running into debt and management systems were shit, that bit of aluminium was a real problem because of debt. Yeah. So eventually, we're going to have to do something about this. So, but we're also having the composite head gasket that was available at the time. It was the only head gasket. Yeah. There was no multi-layer head gasket back then. There was a composite one, not at all strong. So Prodrive came, right, what we're going to do, we'll press out the middle of the firing ring of the gasket. Yeah. So the head gasket will become a perimeter gasket. Yeah. And we'll put a bronze ring into the block to get rid of that bit of aluminium, and we'll put a Wills ring or gas ring in the top of that. It's a really complicated engine because the height is absolutely critical. Yeah. And it didn't last very long, but some of the legacies have got that system. It was a legacy thing. But it very soon got to the point, now hang on a minute, no, this head gasket thing's not working. No. It's still not fantastic, and I haven't seen one of those engines for some years. So then they came up with this, having the block CNC machine to be like that, and having that open, which is
a big modification to do, isn't it?
Yeah. And of course, so then that's a perfect seal, just like that. And that's why part of the reason, closed deck block. Yeah. Because you've got nowhere to put rubber rung ring otherwise. Yeah. So you have to run a closed deck block. Yeah. You can get semi-closed, can't you? Which have got this bit's in here. Yeah. And this bit's in here. But of course, this is all hanging in space, so that it wouldn't work.
These are getting quite sought after closed deck blocks now.
Closed deck blocks they're useful. Luckily,
mainly RA cars.
Yeah. Legacy turbos. The later Series 2 cars and was definitely, and earlier, but the turbo, basically the Legacy turbo had a closed deck block.
Okay. I've had a crown wheel like that come off as well once. This is lock wired.
They're all Loctited, lock wired. Those have a happy knack of coming undone.
Yeah, that made a bit of a noise, but luckily I stopped the car before it got any worse.
And then what do we got here? So
Group A.
Yeah, Group A. So that's a late Group A gearbox. That's number 54.
So like I was saying earlier, where there was one on the floor there, they roughly look the same as what a gearbox, but they're nothing.
No, nothing.
Again, this is all. This cast.
Everything about that. There's no bit of that is fitted on a road car.
No.
Nothing.
No.
So this is 95 spec. So it has a horizontal gas accumulator on the side. In fact, no, it's earlier than that. No, it's got missing the gas accumulator. So this is 95 spec. So it would have a long gas accumulator here down the bottom.
Yeah.
And this valve block here with poppet valves on the bottom would have been originally had the configuration for air shift as well, because even though it's H pattern, they were experimenting with air shift, and that was hanging off the front. The selector housing here.
Slave cylinder inside the box.
Yes, all of them. Every single one of these gearboxes has the concentric clutch cylinder,
which can be a bit of a pain.
It's a bit of a pain, but we just say to everybody, anytime you take the gearbox out, change the seals.
Yeah.
Because it's about 20 quid. It's not worth not doing it. But so that's a 95 one and then 96 spec one alongside it. So the valve, I know the gearbox is back to front, but
is there any hairs on that? Because I've seen whose name's on it. That might have been one of the ones.
We have done one. I think this you're probably thinking about his other car.
Yeah.
But this one is the original gearbox.
I remember it had. I don't know if you still put them in, but it had. I think it was the oil pressure gauge. Was in oil. Was in like water.
Was
that a Prodrive?
That's a Prodrive.
Yeah.
That's what it should be.
I remember seeing that and thinking that's old fashioned.
Yeah. No, that's how they were.
Inlet manifolds.
There's a few of those. Yeah.
Do you make those? Or?
Well, so the ones for the replica car, the continuation builds, the new build cars, we take a standard original inlet manifold. It's too wide, so it has to be cut down. Cut all the lugs off it that we don't need. Polish the outside of it. Attend to the ports as best you can. We don't have the kit to be able to do it quite how STI did it back in the day.
That's another thing that people, when building a replica, you don't think about. People just think the red one's on and then an STI one and that's it. But that's
once you take the head gaskets away, the engine is narrower by 3 millimeters.
Yeah.
So straight away the inlet manifold is not going to fit. No. And then there's the variations in exhaust manifolds. So you know what a rocket is?
The rocket. That was like a turbo thing, that wasn't it?
So the 12B has got a rocket in the exhaust manifold.
It was anti-lag basically, wasn't it?
Basically, yeah. So it'll produce boost at idle. Effectively,
is that before anti-lag as we know it?
No. This is the final iteration. So 90 in those early cars, they have anti-lag, but it's fairly unsophisticated. Legacies, they actually cut the idle speed control valve off the inlet manifold completely because they didn't have anti-lag. The mapping on the car was such that the throttle was jacked open. And
it's very hard to drive slowly.
It's really hard to drive slowly. But then the Impreza came along and it's a little bit more sophisticated than GC8. And then we get onto the World Rally cars and it then became, the anti-lag was much more of it was slightly more sophisticated, but you became more relied on it because it did work better.
Yes.
But I think, it was still in its early days, so Prodrive as a manufacturer not letting the two-door cars go out to customers with anti-lag on them.
Okay.
So a 98 car, which is effectively a customer car, has a smaller turbo, but it has an EGR valve on it, so it just recycles compressed air from the turbo when you come off the throttle. So it's a fantastic car. It's so easy to drive. Yeah. So easy to drive because there is no anti-lag. It just drives like a road.
Brilliant. Yeah.
So it's really popular with everybody. You could put anti-lag into it, but it just makes it harder to drive.
Stages to a rocket?
No. It's literally
just on or off.
Yeah. So the EGR valve was the first iteration of car that not having the anti-lag actually fitted, but when they came to 99 cars, it has electronic throttle motor, and all of a sudden, you don't have to worry. It can be. The car's easy to drive.
Yeah, you got road and stage.
Yeah, exactly. You've got all of that.
It's all mapped.
And then eventually from 99 onwards, and the last, version is S12B and S14. Effectively, the two engines are almost identical.
have a film of the rocket down there.
The rocket.
'Cause there's not many people know about those.
No, and I'm not.
I don't know a lot about them, but
I'm not
I know
going to tell you exactly how it works.
No.
But the valve on the top, this valve has got a motor in it.
Basically this.
So it controls the compressed air from the turbo going back into...
Is that the restrictor in there?
No. So there's no turbo fitted at the moment. The turbo will be fitted there, pointing upright. It does. Yeah, it's there.
Yeah, they're not like that. Yeah.
And so that will be sitting on its back, bolted to the top of the manifold. That's the rocket underneath it.
Yeah.
And effectively all it does is it recycles or recirculates compressed air from the turbo into the exhaust stream, and makes it swirl and basically works like a rocket motor. This is why it's called the rocket. So it once you put it into ALS and you go into launch mode, the rocket starts to work, keeps the turbo spinning. You have a boost reservoir in that canister that's on the front of the inlet manifold as well.
Didn't they ban the rockets in there? Did they ban it?
No. And also the thing is, it changed in second gear as well, all automatically.
It selected.
So you put it into first,
and it will go into second. Or
it's in launch mode.
Yeah.
The ALS is on. You just floor the throttle. You haven't got to find exactly the right place. It knows what the clutch bite point is because you've already logged that.
Okay.
It knows all that's going on. You just plant the foot, and when the light goes green and the man says go, you sidestep the clutch. And thing goes
once it's
in
second gear,
it goes into second, all on its own.
Yeah.
It's all clever stuff.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's a cool piece of kit. Yeah. And they're fantastic. And you know, it's a 34mm restrictor, just like that's a 34mm restrictor.
Yeah.
If as a customer car that would have 285, 290 horsepower, if you could change the ECU and you could bugger about with it, you would get a little bit more on good fuel because it was a customer car, it's a customer spec. But the engine itself is basically nothing wrong with the engine.
Yeah.
So you could see maybe just over 300 horsepower from a Group A engine.
Yeah.
That's still got a 34mm restrictor.
That's the
But it's the bee's knees in terms of how much it got, and you're pushing 330 horsepower.
Yeah.
But you've got
with a
600 plus newton meters of torque, as opposed to 500 newton.
Yeah.
So they're chalk and cheese.
de-restricted in like rallycross mode or something, you get 500.
Oh yeah, for sure, absolutely. I mean, the 34mm restrictor is a little hole.
Yeah.
There's not a big hole to get the air through.
So one more place to see is the March bit, the museum. Yeah.
So this is a remanufactured co-driver's footplate for a Group A car for the current crop of new build cars, where whereas originally...
So you're not in a GEMS anymore?
No GEMS. Well, the gearbox controller is a GEMS.
Yeah.
And what we do is we take a modern GEMS controller.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be...
Are they still going?
Yeah. It doesn't have to be a transmission controller. It controls transmissions because you tell it that's what it's going to do.
Mr. Stamper?
No, not necessarily. Or we do still work with him. But the transmission controller, we have it put into the same box as they used for Group A cars.
Okay.
Everybody calls it twin port one because it's got two plugs on the ECU. So effectively, that's for the twin port ECU.
Yeah.
And that's for the engine ECU. The engine ECU is just a slightly different size to the original, so that is modified from original.
Okay. Yeah.
But originally, the Group A one that we usually see, this has got 4 slots in it. It doesn't have 2. It's the same thing. It's just changed.
And it's a carbon tank guard, I assume, or just floor guard.
Yeah, S11 tank guard. Yeah. So we were talking about the March connection.
Yeah.
So this was the machine shop, and we were told by the guy that came to work for us from the machine shop next door, that when things went wrong, things got thrown up the back.
Yeah.
So there's an upright from what was probably F2 or F3, and we assume that they didn't want that hole just there.
Right.
Because that would appear to be the right play, but that's not.
Look like it's in the middle.
So somebody didn't get very far with that, but going, oh, bollocks.
So that's been out in the rain up there.
Yeah.
What is it made of? Magnesium. It is magnesium. That's why it's gone porous then, isn't it?
Yeah. And these, I presume...
This throttle drum.
Yeah, they are, but unfinished. But they were just languishing up the railway embankment. We also found an original bit of parcel tape.
Oh, yeah.